Okay, Spirit told me to start this video off with Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And also, I'm on a one-way ticket on a horse with no name. Now, I know those lyrics are wrong because I looked them up, but that's what I was told to do. And somehow that may resonate with this person and may not. I used to go to a lot of healing services, and you would see the person with the gift of healing, but a lot of times the spirit would tell them to do things, and then they would do it, but the person would get healed and stuff. All right, so first thing I want to do, just to do this really quick. Of course, you know that was Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Shaggy, and all those people. Now, this song, the actual lyrics are, you see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. And they go, la, 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 la. And they say, it just is American lyrics, but the funny thing is they didn't really say who made it. Let me just see. Well, they may have said it. I take it back, a horse with no name. No, that's interesting. You know why that's interesting? Because I think the name of the group was called America. See, you got the blood moon coming. And that's what this is about. It's a blood moon. It's a full moon, blood moon reading for tomorrow. Right now, it is 10:08 a.m., July 25th, 2018. So that's significant that the spirit would tell me to sing a lyric from a song or a group called America. Talking about the sky and the clouds sounds very prophetic to me. The air was full of sound, and the Bible talks about that, getting caught up in the air. And they say in the midnight, there's a song about midnight, a gust of wind. That's a big song. And the ground was dry because that's like right before the water dries up at the ascension. It's interesting. So this guy was doing some prophecy here. See, the way they told me to sing it, I'm on a one-way ticket on a horse with no name. That shit's deep. Because one way mean you ain't coming back. So I think this guy knew something. So that's funny how that popped in my head. Alrighty. Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies. Full. I am Gat, your host. We are going right in with the blood moon. Full blood moon tomorrow. Now what you're looking at is the person on the left has requested the reading. The right is a full blood moon for July 27th. The transit chart or space chart. And on the left is the person's natal chart. Now, we always protect people's identities. And in order for everything to fit, you have to take off the top of both. Otherwise, it will be all uneven. But this person will get full copies of everything. So they'll see everything. All right. Now, since it's talking about the full moon, first thing you want to know is the moon in Aquarius in the third house with a Mars retrograde. Now there's a full moon. Now both the new moon and full moon has to do with revelations. Like the new moon may reveal something to you, but it may become clearer during the full moons. Sometimes it's just about something being taken, like around between the full moon and the new moon, something might just be taken or changed. So we just have to be aware of these things, like what's going on and how we're going to deal with it. The full moon will always be motherly, nurturing. It deals with the internal, so it can deal with repression. And see, Mars retrograde deals with repression. Mars retrograde can be the guy that just blows up because he's been holding it in. Then you get the road rage or something. So the reason why that's significant, everything is going on in the third house with the moon and Mars retrograde, and that's really for really younger children or even adults that are a little maybe immature in certain ways. And that's all going to be going on with this Mars retrograde. So people will have a tendency to maybe get a little angry, get a little upset. Children might try to throw tantrums. And we have to be ready for this because we don't want to respond in a way that's going to add more negativity to our situation. So we have to respond favorably. Make sure we're speaking to people who can actually help us in some way if we need help. And trying to be speak in such a way that nobody's going to be offended or ready to argue. And I talked about a lot of crazy stuff going on in my house. So there's a video loading right now on the spiritual channel where I talk about that. It'll look a little bit like this, just the natal chart to the left will be different, and that's a blood moon reading as well for that person's natal chart. And I'm not sure where this natal chart will go just yet. So we know that's the third house. That house is ruled by Gemini. Both Aquarius and Gemini like their freedom. Both Aquarius and Gemini they don't like to go too deep. Like Aquarius will say, hey, listen, I'll be in a relationship with you, but don't think you're going to be calling me all the time. And, if I don't feel like talking to you, if you call, I may not call you back. Don't trip out on me because that'll bum me out. Aquarius likes to help people, help the world and stuff. But Aquarius will say, I know, but it doesn't really know. A lot of times. Sometimes it might. But a lot of times, that's the one thing Aquarius and Gemini have in common. They don't need to know the deep stuff. Okay, and they don't want to know the deep stuff. Gemini is the same way. Like certain Aquarius, certain Gemini, you can really send them into space out mode by trying to show them something deep. And they're both really sociable. Aquarius is really sociable. Community, that's all Aquarius. And Gemini also can be the brotherhood or the people around you, but they just don't want to go deep. So if you tell them, hey, it's people starving in this particular location, they might go, oh, that's sad. Okay, well, I'll give an offering. I'll give a donation. But if you started to say, oh, they're suffering, and you started to go graphic or explain it, they really don't want to hear all that. Like they feel like I know I've learned enough and I don't really need to know all the details. So sometimes the universe steps in to force them to go deeper. And again, the third house deals with brothers and sisters, young people or younger minded people, the community around you, creativity, poetry, mental things, the mind, communication, short distance travel. But in any type of relationship, it may be not growing. It may be breaking up, going your own way. And that's why, yeah, that's the one that came too. That's the song that came to me first. That's the song that came to me first. Is You Can Go Your Own Way. That's the song that came to me first. But then I forgot. Then when I started the video, I kept hearing, I got a one-way ticket on a horse with no name. All right. So before we go further, let's find out what the heck is going on. I'm not saying it is, but it might be somebody needs to get out of your life. I'm not saying that's what the case is, but this is what Spirit keeps telling me. Fleetwood Mac. You can go your own way. So let's look at it really quick. I'm just trying to see if there's a reason. Is there a... Let me see. Let me just do one thing. Alright. Oh, look at this. Sister of the Moon by Fleetwood Mac. That's why I always say, this is why I always say, when you're dealing with intuitive people, just let them be intuitive. People get, like, I get people that get mad at me. But don't get me, I remember when I first started, like, getting with spiritual, and I would call a prayer line, and I wouldn't like to, like, you know, they would start off praising God, and I didn't understand it. And I would be like, yo, just, you know, just do my prayer request. Don't, you know. Now, how the heck do you think you're asking God to help you, but you don't want to stop and give him a couple of minutes to say, praise him? I used to be a piece of work. So sometimes I understand when people are really impatient. So there is somebody comparing Fleetwood Mac to America. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Something there. And you can go deeper to find out where they're from. Because this person, I believe, was born in the Midwest. One time, this is a long time ago, but very important. Still important today. 1995. This is before I knew about metaphysics. But I worked at this printer repair depot. And sometimes you could feel you're close to somebody. Because to be honest, before that, in the late 1980s and the early 1990s, I worked with another female, and me and her were kind of cool. And she was Miss Midwestern, and she loved the Grateful Dead, but we just had a connection. And to be honest with you, I've been kind of connected to a couple of females from the Midwest. And but the other one in 1995, I don't know if she is Midwestern or not, because I never asked her. But I know when I'm connected to somebody, but a lot of times, like, especially maybe, I don't know about probably now also, but back then you just didn't do it, you know. So I kind of knew me and her were connected, and I just left it alone. And she never, like, she was just really cool. Like, I know, like, Midwestern females, they're kind of cool. Like, I had another job in 2012. She was cool too. They were all Midwesternish, and she had her own horses. But this female, she, you know, she kept to herself. But like, I never, you know, I never approached her. I don't know. She may have turned me down, cause she is kind of like really, like, you have people that are really, they wear glasses and they're kind of like focused. But that doesn't mean that if I, had approached her differently, she might have responded. But I never did. And I feel there's a reason why all this is going on. So that's why I'm kind of looking at a couple of things. But anyway, to get to the point why I bring her up, the 1995 female, because I used to just look at her, because I just know we were connected, but I didn't know anything about metaphysics and none of that way back then. But so me and this other guy were talking about the greatest bands, the two greatest bands of all time. And I was going from, it's 1995, and I was going from my perspective. And even though I didn't know I was that psychic or intuitive or whatever, but I still, had it. But I didn't know what none of that stuff was. But so me and him were talking, and she walked in, and I said to her, I said, hey, what was the two greatest bands of all time? If you want to say rock and roll, you can say whatever you want. What were the two greatest bands of all time? And she said the Beatles and the Eagles. And that's what I had told him. So when she said that, he just looked at me like, I can't believe that just happened. But she knew exactly what I said. So like I said, a lot of times in life, you are really connected to somebody, but it's not like they're going to tell you. Even nowadays. And I don't, like, all I can tell you is my cousin is with her twin flame now, but he couldn't tell her. Like, he knew 10 years earlier, but he couldn't tell her because they didn't know each other that well. So she wasn't interested. She didn't know. And they actually went their own way for 10 years because she didn't know. And then he saw her again at an assembly because they were in the same religion. And he asked her, could he, hold the door for her and walk her to her seat. And then they began to have a relationship and grow. And they finally got together. And it wasn't until years later that after they got married that he finally told her, I knew we'd be together. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he began to remind her, you met me in New York. I waited on your table when you came to the Watchtower Society. And she said, yeah, you did. And then they saw each other again. So sometime the universe has it all worked out. So Fleetwood Mac, British American band. But I'm pretty sure they were probably in the Midwest too. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Grateful Dead, they were famous all over the place, but I think that was a big Midwestern thing as well. And probably this group, America, which you can, whatever he said, travel on the desert on a horse with no name, whatever he said. So we'll leave that alone. I don't think I could go too much further with that. But like I said, what I learned is if you do think there's an attachment with somebody, I don't know, because a female will say, well, I want the guy to make the first move or whatever. So I don't really know, but I think you got to take it slow. That's what I learned, because like I'm a very honest person. So I'll go up to a person and say, hey, boom, 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 I think there's a connection between me and you and blah, blah, blah. And even I might even say I know there is, and then to them that's being arrogant. Why you arrogant son of a beep? And I think I'm just being honest. So I've learned you just gotta kind of slow it down and kind of let it marinate. And if it is something there, at some point she'll help you with it. But you can't just say, hey, listen, I know it, I feel it, I know you feel it, and because you could be talking to some law enforcement. Alright. So now we'll get back. And I'm not talking about the Beatles get back. Alright. So that's what's going on in the third house. So now before we go any further, we can look at where her Aquarius is. So her Aquarius is in the 10th house, which is career. So that's kind of advising her And be careful, because people are on edge. And like I said, I'll spare you everything I'm going through. But I already covered that in the video that's going to be on the spiritual channel about the blood moon. Another blood moon reading. But everybody's on edge now. So in her case, it's going to primarily be around employment. Any type of community around employment, because that is the 10th house. And then Capricorn is in her 10th house as well. Right? Excuse me. Her 9th house. But Capricorn still rules the 10th house. So she's got some mediocre. She's got some medium quality Capricorn, Aquarius stuff going on too. Because I just talked about that on the last video I just did. So people are going to be short fused. Probably taking things the wrong way. And you have to be careful. Because I had to learn that. I really did. Because like I said, a lot of stuff happened where I had all these people in my house and all this crazy stuff going on. And when you're home, you're more relaxed. But like they just feel like, you know, hey, you're going to respect us. And you're like, hold up, this is my house. But they're like, you know, kind of adamant. You're going to respect us. Because only one guy was really nice. He was like really apologizing. Like, oh, I'm sorry I got to be in your refrigerator. But we got to check the medications and all that stuff. But he was cool. But the rest of the people, like, they were really like arrogant. Because you're in the person's house and like, I don't know what's going on. I got medical problems too, you know. But if but depending on how you respond, you could get called out of there by the cops. Like the cops are not going to beat you up in front of the medical people, but they want to. But still, they're going to drag you out of there. And then when they get you away from the medical, you might get your ass kicked. And this is in your own house, and you're not even doing nothing because it's an emergency that came up that it just goes crazy. So that's one thing I learned yesterday was like, wow, even in my own house, I got to really watch how I respond and what I say. I mean, even double check before you knock on the door. Because I happen to have on a red head rag. And then, of course, I was immediately kind of treated like a gangster. I'm like, man, I'm home. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm in my house chilling. But all it takes is a little bit. So that's how this Mars retrograde is going to be. That things can go from 0 to 100 so quickly. All right. So now, like I said, this is sun and moon sign. So we'll do it again. We'll do the sun sign on the natal chart, not on the natal chart, on the transit chart, aka the space chart. Sun and Leo. And it's kind of funny because we were dealing with Leo. Oh yeah, that's why. Because it's the full moon chart. Okay, but it's still unique because it's still Saturn. Because on the last blood moon chart we were dealing with Saturn. And we were dealing with Leo. That's what I'm saying. Now, what happens here First house, second house, third house, fourth. See? I can't make this up. So I'm advising you to go to my spiritual channel and also listen to that blood moon, because it's similar to yours. But I told you, this stuff comes to me in batches. Like I get a lot of Pisces in one batch, another sign. So this is some type of family stuff, probably with the father. Now in her case, she was an Aquarius free-spirited person, and her dad was kind of like the disciplinarian. And now the universe is giving them to a chance to heal some old wounds. In this case, family, but it's the Leo, fun, childlike. So this is children, fun, kind of like probably opposing that fatherly Saturn presence. And remember, it's also karma. Saturn represents karma. We'll look at that again because it talked about the feet and things like that again. So let me look that up. All right. So I don't know what about that whole thing was going on, but I would say Midwest, be a little careful just by what I was given. Just Midwest just has to be a little careful. And like again, I'm gonna tell you guys, as long as he's not too busy, Paul Bagley does a great job on warning people or stuff going on, but sometimes he gets busy. Because there's so much going on right now, it's really hard to keep up with it. All right. So Saturn rules the skin, teeth, the organs of hearing, the bones, and the knees. So you want to be careful of those areas at this time because of what we're learning. And Saturn tries to make you conform, but the funny thing is, Leo kind of will oppose, because Leo just wants to have fun. Leo wants to be creative, childlike, taking risk. And we want to look at that degree, 2 degrees Saturn. Two degrees set. Oh, give me. All right, let me do that again. It is 2 degrees. So I'm not looking at the chart, but I'll have to because I'm trying to remember, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. 2 degrees. Now, what was it? Leo. That's what it is. 2 degrees Leo. I did remember. All right. Because once I stopped looking at that chart, I'm like, oh. All right. 2 degrees Leo. It says depraved and thoughtless character. One displays loose morals in both private and business matters. If the natal chart shows strong probability, then this degree indicates that faith is tremendously helpful in overcoming ordeals caused by twist of fate. So this person might have ordeals caused by twist of fate. Twist of fate. But then she should have faith to help her deal with that, those twists of fate. So like I said, it does look like a person who wants to have fun, like a fun childlike ways, or even a child, but they had that in the family aspect. They had that disciplinarian. And when we studied Saturn earlier this morning, it did say it could be possibly a father. But the interesting is this is like at 2 degrees, which I'm assuming would be like almost earlier in her life. But still, it might have been some type of issues there. In fact, let's look at it. Let's look at Saturn and Leo. Oh, that's beautiful. It's the woman. They gave me the woman with the lion. I'm at astromatrix.org, and I put Saturn and Leo, and they gave me a picture of the woman with the lion, which is good because that would be the strength card. And I've been seeing a lot with a woman with the tiger too, but that's Durga. Durga is Indian, Hindu. All right, let me read this. In order for you to succeed in your social position in the world, you will have to gain knowledge and expertise associated with the proper use of personal power, creative self-expression, and control of the ego. Life experience will force you to learn valuable lessons related to the development of a proper sense of values in dealing with matters of self-expressive, romantic, self-expression, romantic relationships, parenthood, social life, and control of your environmental general and your environmental generally. Many related confrontations will be afforded to help hasten the restructuring process. So if this was a father-daughter type situation, that was one of the reasons why. Critical examination of the self and one's ulterior motive is required in order to develop a fully integrated personality. With this position of Saturn, focus is directed inward to personal issues, in general to the discovery of the certain real self in particular. In-depth psychology, this process is known as individualization. If successful, vitality, spontaneity, and joy of life is assured. All right. We're going to try that again. This time we're going to do always astrology. Saturn in Leo has a strong need for recognition. They clearly want to be the leader. They have a lot of creative talent, but find it difficult to express it. They expect a lot from themselves and others. They are the disciplinarian at home. Children may seem burdensome to them. They have a limited sense of humor and appear very cautious and reserved. Now, the vibe I'm getting is that's the environment she was under as a child. That's the vibe I'm getting. Because what they're saying is this would be the vibe they would be giving, but I don't think it's a vibe. I could be wrong. I don't think it's a vibe they would. I think that's the vibe they receive. Now, did that cause them to maybe show that same vibe to other people? And that's possible. Leo's Saturns tend to undervalue themselves. Again, this is alwaysastrology.com. So the attitude of inferiority can sabotage all they work towards. They may have feelings of jealousy and lack of spontaneity, and that could push others away. They often get put up. They often put up a coldness front towards others, trying to protect themselves emotionally. Their challenge is to connect with others and find value within themselves. And that's what was going on before, because they were trying to get this other female to connect more possibly with her father. Maybe, she was real free spirited. He was more rigid with Saturn energy. And now they're trying to get them to bring together. And that's kind of what they're trying to do, it looks like, with this chart as well. Leo Saturn can with success become the childlike innocent who is old as the hills, full of wisdom. They can become the successful politician who works their way up through the ranks. They are admired and loved, even though they don't feel comfortable in the spotlight. Saturn in Leo is strong-willed. They need to work on expressing their love for others and their humility. Cooperation may be the challenge for them. They may be overcautious. Life challenges to them. Life challenges them. Life challenges them to properly use their personal power, creativity, and ego. Okay, I'm just trying to find my spot where I was at. I'm going to read it again. They need to work on expressing their love of others and their humility. Cooperation may be a challenge for them. They may be overcautious. Life challenges them to properly use their personal power, creativity, and ego. They will be faced with challenges in parenting, social life, romance, and control. If they learn to successfully deal with these issues, they will have a joyful life full of vitality and spontaneity. Physically, Saturn and Leo may be prone to issues of the heart. So watch your heart, your spine, and your back. The result, this may be heart disease, so be careful, circulation problems, and other issues. They may resist authority if they perceive it comes from outside of themselves. They may need to work on themselves a bit to grow. Humbling experiences may play a role in their becoming a better person. They need to let go of their ego and listen to their higher self. So I don't know if any of this is resonating with her. I've known her for a while. It's always been like, it's not, she doesn't mean to do it, but it's always been like a lot of mystery there. But what I'm thinking, see, the reason why I don't like to get too deep, because it has to be a natal reading, which I've done her natal chart a few times. But what I'm getting is it might have been her, whoever was the father figure, there may have been some issues there, because I think it's karma though. I think it's past life stuff, just from what I'm reading right now. And I think she just, because they see Leos and that's sun energy, so they're already going to say ego. So she may have wanted to love her life and move on, because like it's frustrating for me. And it's not that I'm arrogant. Like, I'm just, like, Leos love to move. Because I'm a Leo. That's my sun sign. And like, it's a sun sign. And like, you'll already be doing what you need to be doing. And you're moving around and you're trying to be all happy. And these people just be bitter. Like, they be like, oh, they're accusing you of stuff you're not doing and would never do. A lot of racial stuff. Like, it doesn't stop. And you're like, man, I don't want my day to be fucked up. I want my day to be sunny and Leo and run around and have fun and shit. And but like, even if you were listening to what I just read, they're basically telling you, no. You have to go through this situation. Saturn, no, you have to go through this. You have to learn. And then they immediately go and get your ego in check. Like, why is it an ego thing? Why can't I just love life? Why does it have to be an ego thing? Maybe I just don't want to be bitter. But, you see it constantly. Like I said, the stuff I'm going through, stuff even yesterday. Like, they really want you to play this game that I really don't want to play, I hate it. And then I look over things and check things out. But it's like they get throw all the dirt at you, but you can't go, hey, I'm dirty. So I don't know if that's resonating with her, because me and her have talked a few times. I don't know. But basically, that's what they said. Well, that Saturn, whoever that disciplinary is in your 4th house, his job was to make you come off your high horse and tone it down. And you're going to have to learn to go through. And I mean, she may have to. Because whenever I do a natal chart, each person's got to make their own decision. So I always try to say that. Because I don't know no more. I used to think I knew. But like somebody says, hey, listen. What if... on my life purpose in my natal chart, I'm supposed to be a child molester. And I say, well, I wouldn't follow that. I don't care if it's on your true north node. I wouldn't follow that. You're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. You're going to destroy your reputation. You're going to hurt people. But yet, in a lot of instances, that person will keep finding themselves in situations that is easy. Like, come on. Like, a guy might meet say, hey, wow, listen. I can't find a date. If I ask somebody, they say no. So how did Ted Bundy get all those women that he did, whatever he did to, and killed them all? How was he so fortunate? I mean, as far as not to kill the people, but why was he so lucky with the ladies? I mean, he got a lot of them. I mean, it ended up horrible. But why was he so lucky with the ladies? So it's something there. If you check his natal chart, you probably would see it. What is it that he has that's attracting these women, even though they're going to their demise? So that's why I said it can get complex. And at the end, people have to make their own decisions. I can only say what I see. And, I might throw a few things in there here or there. But then I have to leave it alone. So, with the sun in Leo, and with 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So that's in the 9th house again, with the sun in Leo. So just like the other one, they're trying to get you guys to come to some type of more mature. See, the 9th house is Sagittarius. That's more mature energy. So they're trying to get you guys to come to a more, some type, I won't say closure, but some type of talking to each other and, some type of healing. But still, that Mercury is right there, which means there's still going to be communication problems. So somebody might say, well, that's silly because my father's not even alive. So you're silly. But no, because I keep trying to tell you guys, you got your people all around you. Even the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. On the Archangel cards, Azrael is a Capricorn card. And it says, hello from heaven. And then it says, hey, your loved ones are doing just fine. Stop worrying. So no, you can still come to grip. You can still come to peace with your loved ones. I can tell you for a fact, my older sister's been dead for years, but she's still a major impact in this house. Because all kind of stuff happened this weekend. I know all of it was coming. There's a white dog that lives right across the street. And like, if I was to say something to my mother, Like that dog will just be barking at. Like he knows. Like that dog is a female. I always say he is a she, and her name is Sophia. Sophia. Like one day she was barking crazy at me, like crazy, crazy. Like she knows. And so this time we was outside, and she barked particularly at my sister, my younger sister, because my sister's doing a lot of stuff that she shouldn't be doing, as far as not really taking care of her own mother, my mother as well. So that dog barked specifically at her. And he would have barked at him. I said, shut up. I told the dog to shut up. So you can make amends whether you think they're there or not. Because that's what this is about, just so you know. The whole Leo, ninth house. See, ninth house is Sagittarius energy, and that's more mature energy. And even look at your Sagittarius. Look where it's at. And that's your moon too. So that's your dreams. And that's how he talks. The Neptune talks to you through your dreams. See, this person can tap into life all around and dimensions and stuff. See, Sagittarius is long distance, and plus this is the 8th house of Scorpio, and that's also the moon. So this is reincarnation. It's everything. So this person is tapped into everything, the unknown, or like I said, she may want to even consider writing. Because she probably could take those things she's learning and market and make movies and stuff. So that's why I said through your dreams you can come to grips with it and come to apology. And like I said, I tell everybody, you know, but a lot of times people don't listen. Like you just have to be careful because just like in our world you have good people and evil people, or people that are going to take an advantage. So you have to learn how to tap into which energies and what energies. But see, everything that's everything that's in the moon, everything connected to the moon right now on the chart to the right is in her 8th house. So it's still Neptune, and if you notice, her Pisces is in the 11th house because we're dealing with Aquarius energy. And that's friends, association, groups. And Mars is retrograde, and a lot of times when you see a retrograde, it's also dealing with past life information. So the universe is bringing her to more or less connect with friends, association, and groups, and also that whatever's going on with her Saturn energy and her dreams. And this is why Gabriel tells you to keep a dream journal at your bed. And you know, you can even carry a dream throughout the day. And again, people have to be careful because they could be misled in their dreams. Like me, like I'm very careful what I do, but I would just make sure I had a good understanding and was confident. Because you can somebody could come and say, "Oh, look, I'm your dead so and so," but it's really like a spirit trying to manipulate you. So just had to give that warning. So whatever's going on in her 8th house, Neptune is also generating into her 11th house. So like I said, this is a lot. But that would include their loved ones, friends and family, and a whole lot of other people. And that's what I say. Like I got enough problems on planet Earth, so I don't want to go to sleep. But somebody will just show up in in your dream, in your subconscious mind, talking to you, and you're saying, why did that person come talk to me or whatever? And as you see, the ascendant is also Aquarius. Not the ascendant on the space chart is also Sagittarius. So for you, just to say it in an easy way, it's going to be a lot of portals open, And guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes you right back to your 4th house. Because look where Neptune retrograde and Pisces is. It's in the 4th house of this natal of the space chart, transit chart. So it's going to take you right back to that Leo energy and stuff like that. And whenever you see retrogrades, it could definitely do with past life. So they're trying to take like 3rd house energy, or I'm mad at you energy, or I can't work this out with you energy, and they're trying to stabilize it with 9th house energy. And that's what you see going on with your chart. And only you will know more about, coming up, who's that Saturn energy. What would you two really have to do to, what would you need to talk about, or what would you have to do to at least get a little bit of maturity and stability and things like that. And that's what the universe is advising. So again, it was a blood moon, sun moon, which I did them. And again, just to let everybody else know, there's going to be a lot of repressive anger coming out. It's going to be in the community sector, in the brotherhood sector. People are not going to want to talk it over. A lot of repression, repressive anger comes out. And because you see Aquarius there, it could be worldwide. The community of people or humans are worldwide. So this will conclude this particular reading. Again, you can contact me. Got a lot of readings going on. A lot of information in the description box. How to contact me is there as well. You can see if we have any sales going on. We also discount. And God bless. All right. There's a couple of other things I could consider. That we could consider. So Saturn rules Capricorn. Now her Capricorn is in her 9th house. Which is, again, your medium coeli, which is somewhat connected to your life purpose. And remember, I did already say that. And Capricorn rules the 10th house as well. So we already covered all the Aquarius. But see, the 9th house, again, is still working with that Saturn energy, because Saturn rules Capricorn. And that's where it gets real tricky. Because in the family sector, depending on what's there, Saturn in the family sector could be whoever played the father figure. But then when you get up there to like the 9th house or 10th house, any form of Capricorn energy or Capricorn presence could actually be some type of employment. So the 9th house is unique. I mean, if you really wanted to get into it, it could almost be saying you have some type of connection to this energy through your dreams. And that's what I was saying earlier. So, and I see it again. Because 9th house is a little bit of everything. Long distance, foreign things, the higher self, philosophy, religion, culture, class, in-laws, higher laws. And then when you look at the where Capricorn is on this chart, with the blood moon, it could be some trouble with finances. We know that Pluto retrograde is saying something has to be taken, but that helps a person to move on because they can't rely on it anymore. So in the second house of the universe on that day, both Saturn and Pluto teach lessons. Pluto will take suddenly and impactfully take something away to teach a lesson. So let's see. Let's just say we can say I'm gonna look around a little bit. All right, now this is good. This is called the Tarot Lady. Now I think that's the first time I've ever seen her. And she calls it Star School Lesson 17. Retrograde planets in the natal charts. So let me note this. Alright, so let's go to, I want to do Pluto first. Pluto retrograde, okay. No, because it should have been the very next one. Oh, here it goes. Very good. Now, Pluto retrograde can be the inner power struggle. The Pluto retrograde person has suppressed anger and issues around power and control. Now, they were kind of saying that in your 5th house with that Saturn and Leo. They don't like to be controlled, but they don't like to admit their own desires to be in control of matters. Like, I know me and my father had issues, but he did kind of come back, you know, and very personal. That's why I said, you know, when you have a Christian background, you say everything is a demon or demonism or it's deception. And I don't always know if that's true, you know, because I've been doing this for a long time. But you do have to be careful. I'm not saying that it's not true for some people, because I've seen people get possessed and raped and everything else. I've seen it all. But just about all. But it seemed like it was him. See, one thing I try to tell people, like, you have to make your own choices. And I have to share this now because it's just time. Because on my other natal chart, I shared it. The last one I did on the blood moon, that's on the spiritual channel. I think I'm going to put this one on Archangel Revelations and Prophecies. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure I am. But the bottom line, I'm going to tell it like it is. In life, you're going to make choices. Now, you can stay repressed if you want to. You can stay victimized if you want to. You can stay strong if you want to, angry if you want to. I feel like I'm writing a song. But that's a choice you're going to make. It's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. It's a choice you're going to make in third dimensional. Now, to this, no disrespect to people, but we got a lot of issues in third dimension. And we act like we don't want to talk about them. And if a guy like me comes along, oh, I'm the bad guy. You know, you want to take all that hate and that pain and everything you feel and throw it on me. And especially, like you said, if they see like a nice person that actually cares, they really going to dump it on them. I've seen this my whole life. But fortunately, God is starting to make me a little bit wiser and a little tougher. Like, I really just don't care no more. Like, I'm not going to let somebody pull me into their reality, because that's your reality. That's what you choose to receive. So, you have people that may have died, and they still feel a certain way, and they try to find a way to tell you they're sorry or whatever else. And you may have people alive, same thing. But this is how I see it. First off, if you are alive and you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, maybe you get away with it for a long time. And then the universe is going to do things to bring some karma your way. Now, recently, I had to go off on my younger sister. She's 3 years older than me. I already talked about all of that in the other video that is on the spiritual channel on the blood moon. Because that's what this is about. Blood moon, Mars retrograde, and Aquarius. It's really about a lot of stuff that's hidden that needs to be talked about. It's going to come out, but it's going to come out like boom. Now, she may be upset. I mean, she's my sister. She knows how crazy this family can get. She may be upset, but at the end of the day, she had it coming. No matter what nobody else talks about. See, that's the point I'm trying. This is why relationships can't last anymore. Families can't last. Because you have people that want to dive in. And once they dive in, they just separate everything. And now people can't get the correction they should have gotten. And I'm sorry that we're in a society that doesn't want to be corrected. But then they just want to sit around and feel guilty. Oh, I know I was alcoholic, and I know I kept drinking, and I know I ruined my marriage, and I know I ruined my kids. And then if I say to that person, shut up, then I'm the bad guy. But nobody addresses the fact of what they just said. Nobody addresses the failure to be an adult, to the failure to get help, the failure to really reach out to your own family and tell them, hey, I'm sorry. Nobody addresses that. They just address me, the guy that says, hey, listen, let's get a grip and do something about it. So I'm at the point now, I don't mind being hated so much. I don't like it, but I don't mind it, because as long as you want to stay at a low level where you don't take responsibility for your actions, because I'm the first to admit we all mess up. But don't sit there and keep making a billion, trillion excuses, because I'm sick of hearing it. So that's basically kind of what happened yesterday with two individuals that have been driving me crazy my whole entire life. So I'm the bad guy, and everybody in the room is really thinking they're going to sock it to me. But I was like, oh no, you people are not going to blame me for stuff that I'm not. I don't care if you got guns. I don't care if you're looking at me. I could care less. You're not going to come up in here and try to tell me I did anything wrong, because I didn't do nothing wrong. You're dealing with very hard-headed people. They want to do what they want to, and then when they fall out, they want the whole world to stop. And I know it's difficult, because I know when you're on meds and taking meds, it takes a long time before you learn how to really do everything correctly. But you got to start somewhere. So that's what that was about. And then the other person, I really went in on her, but she had it coming. That's all I can tell you. Bottom line. Bottom line. When you don't take care of your own mother, don't call here trying to tell me what to do. You don't even feed her. So we're not going to play that game. So it was me having to put the foot down on her, giving her a reality check, because she's been in fantasy land, because her husband won't say anything to her. Or if he does, it ain't nothing like about the mother-in-law, which is my mother and her mother. And then it had other people coming and just trying to tell me, oh, what type of son are you? Oh, no, I'm a son that has a very headstrong mother, and she's going to do what she wants to. But they just want to just talk crazy to you. So I wasn't having it. So, and then, then after they left, I called up somebody that I had been talking to anyway at the township. Not saying that changed anything, but I had to let all these people know enough's enough. Because we got all kind of crazy stuff going on in the neighborhood that we're paying for. And then that's one of the reasons why my mom's went into like low, like just stressed out because it was too hot. And lady kept her on the phone forever, and she wasn't eating, and then she started sinking in. So that's why I said. So the point I'm trying to make is this. Now, again, my sister can just get her act together. Or she can continue to do what she was doing before. But I just let her know, and I let her family know. Don't you ever call over here trying to tell me about mommy, because you don't do jack for her but use her, talk to her like she's a child, and you won't even feed her. How dare you call and tell me something? And she had to bite that one, and she knows it. When my older sister was alive, same thing. How can you talk to your mother on the phone all day long and never ask her how she's doing, or ask her how her health is, but you're always telling her what you want her to do for you? So she kept her mouth, and my older sister never kept her mouth shut. Then she had to keep her mouth shut because they knew I wasn't playing. Like I've had the position of the father of this family, because my father just messed up and he died young. So I had to be the father of this family since I was little. So they know when he's not joking. Don't cross that line. Now, as far as my father's concerned, he has come back. Like I told you, my sister comes back. But I would tell anybody, you don't have to carry your mistakes. Just confess them, give them to God. And you have to move on. Even if people say, I'll never forgive you. What you did to me, I'll never forgive you, you son of a bitch. Well, then that's their problem. Because shit happens, people. Shit happens. Sorry to be the one to tell you, shit happens. So if you want to be miserable your whole life for something somebody did to you in 1979, you got a problem, not the person. The person's not, they might be dead. But you still mad? Look, I've been there too. And that's why people hate me, because like, I'm not in a sense, I was beat up too. But come on, how long are you going to keep using that as a crutch? And that's why that guy got himself in trouble. Whatever his name is, Anthony, whatever. Because he was just telling you the truth. Okay, we've all been through something, but you can't, let's not celebrate getting beat down, and let's not use that as a crutch. Let's use that as a stepping stone. But people want to just, the pity party. Everybody come to the pity party. The pity party. Everybody come to the pity party. Now why somebody steal my lyrics? They already did it already. Now they're going to steal it again. So that's the point I'm trying to make. You can make a choice and say, you know what? I'll get whatever help I need to try to move forward. Or you can keep rehashing it over and over again. I'll never forget it. 40 years ago today. Okay, sorry. Like I'm not minimizing it. I'm not minimizing the pain and how you felt, but I'm saying, come on. And if you need help to get help, get help. So that's why I would tell my father, okay, you made a lot of mistakes. But this is what I would say. I wouldn't tell my father, but this is what I would say of my father. You made a lot of mistakes, but apparently your father didn't show you how to be a man. So that's not really your fault. So you came out in a world where the man that should have taught you a man for some reason didn't do it. And plus the world changed on my father. Because in his day, and I'm not, like, let me make sure I say this because people think I'm saying, because I didn't agree with it either. But in his day, the woman stayed home. The man came. So his whole world changed. So that really messed him up. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, even if he was trying to be the man, the world changed on him anyway, because women wasn't staying. They refused. And I don't blame them. I'm on their side. And then he had heart trouble. So you're not going to be too much of a man, because you could barely walk around without having a heart attack. So it was what it was. So you could see why, and then you got these headstrong women that just going crazy. So you could see why he made a lot of mistakes. Now, as far, like I said, the other one, either she'll change her ways and start to take better care of her mother, or she won't. But she just has to know. I told her, if you're taking care of mommy, and you call me up, I said, you could yell at me, you could curse me out. I said, you could smack me dead in my face. I won't even respond. I said, I will take it like a man. I said, but if you're not doing nothing for her, I said, you better never call this house again trying to yell at somebody on her. I said, I will yank your ass up so fast. I said, your husband gonna have to dive in to save you. And I said, even if he beats me through this whole house, you still gonna know that you will never do that again. I told her quick. Because they know. They got a history. Everybody knows. They just get older and forget. So she can either change her ways or whatever she does. That's between her and God. But see, I understand metaphysics. And a lot of stuff happened. It's too long to tell y'all, but I knew this stuff was coming. Just like me, it's only so much I can do. So I'm not going to drive myself crazy. How many times have you asked this person, do you want to do this? Do you want to get some food? Do you want to order? You got to take your measurement. And they won't do it. Just like the lady, one of those emergency people talking about, she needs AC in here. I said, she don't want AC. She needs AC. She's trying to base up. I said, she don't want AC in here. Like, what the fuck? If she don't want it, she don't want it. Put it in here if you want to. She won't turn it on. Just like I have food for her today, this morning. She still went out and went and did her own thing. Like, I know this shit. Like, it's what it is. And I can't live my whole life. Like if you want to keep playing games with your life, whatever's going on with you, I can't be there every time. And I said to her, what are you going to do if you fall out and I'm not here? Because I understand where she's coming from. Well, I don't understand all of this. I know you don't understand all this, but you're also not really doing what you're supposed to, and you're not listening when I tell you, okay, we got to check your blood, or if you need more to eat, that might not be enough. But she's still going to do it her way. So it's only so much I can do. So once a person keeps showing me that type of attitude, well then, hey, if you want to fall out, fall out. I'll do the best I can, but if you fall out, you fall out. And hey, if they end up taking you out of here, then they're gonna take you out of here, because there's nothing else I could do. I'm not a doctor, so everybody's got to know that. And if you really cared about your mother, you wouldn't be waiting till she fell out to call up yelling and screaming like, oh, you really care. If you really cared, she'd already be doing better, because you would be helping her. But you don't do jack. So you deal with reality. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell y'all is I'm not mad at anybody, because each of these people are going to make their choices just like I'm going to make mine. And nobody's going to make me feel guilty. Like, that dude was big. Like, it got really heated in here yesterday. Like, that one officer that came was a big black dude, and he just came through the door with an attitude. Because you hear about people coming, they call for some help, and then the cops shoot the person and kill him and shit. He was like that. I could tell. But I still said what I had to say. Like, nah. Y'all not coming in here and just basically telling me, oh, I'm such a terrible son and all that crazy. But as soon as they revived her, which was nice, because, if she, in her earlier days, she would have been agreeing with them. But then when she revived, she was like, no, my son looks out for me and shit like that. In her earlier days, because my mom used to sell me out on a heartbeat. But it's all family stuff, so I don't take it personal. So I've already got my healing. First off, people ain't perfect. Second off, this whole planet, you guys may not want to agree with it, but this whole planet is run by fucking evil ass spirits anyway. That's why you got all this killing and people killing their own family and all kind of crazy stuff. And if you really want that good energy, you have to tap into it. But you're blocking it when you start making up excuses for everything instead of dealing with it. So whatever that dude said, Anthony, I forget his whole name, but whatever he said was kind of true. You got to learn how to turn obstacles into stepping stones. So if you got any internal regression, internal power struggles, it's up to you to do something about that. And it's not going to be easy. Like I said, none of this is perfect. But you can start to make more positive moves. And I honestly believe that she doesn't know that. But even where I work at now, it's the females there are just way, I talk to them way better. So sometimes you're going through a period in your life, or maybe it's you. Maybe you're sending out signals that say, hey, I don't want to be bothered. Hey, don't talk to me. Hey, I don't want to get hurt again. Nah, that's okay. So you have to heal sometime. But I mean, it's been nice. It's really been nice. Like that, I have conversations with them and stuff. It's just cool. So what I'm saying is life is not always going to be dim and grim. But you got to heal. You got to start to laugh a little bit more and socialize a little bit more and, you know, take chances. And you do have to, unfortunately, you're going to have to risk your heart getting hurt again. But that's why maybe sometimes you just have to heal first, but it may get hurt again. Or you might have some great experiences. So let's get back to the Pluto retrograde. So the Pluto retrograde person has suppressed anger and issues around power and control. They don't like to be controlled, but they don't like to admit their own desire to be in control of matters. Perceptive and capable of deep transformation, but just don't piss them off or try to tell them what to do. They can be explosive if they feel betrayed. So she didn't really go into what it really means, but the bottom line, Pluto retrograde is going to take something away very forcefully. Like what I did with her, I knocked her off a high horse. Like that night, both of them, I mean, yesterday, they both went down. Because, see, my mother's just older. My mother's, she's not the same she used to be. But that's why my sister's so like that. She got it from my mother. But she's like my mother, like on steroids and stuff. Talking about my younger sister. And my mother, she broke down. She's crying and stuff. And then she is all humble and stuff. So it's kind of funny to me because I'm not used to her being so humble and stuff. So I thought that was funny. And because you gotta remember, these are people I've been around my whole life. Like if you hang out with somebody, like something might happen. Like if that's a good friend of y'all and y'all are always talking trash and fighting and carrying on and stuff like that. So your friend might get their ass kicked in a fight and everybody else is like, oh shoot, oh man, that's so sad. And you be over there laughing like, oh, he got his ass kicked and shit. And like, oh, you're so insensitive and shit, but you don't understand. You know the person, they don't know the person. So that's why I said, I understand you're coming in here to try to help. But if you want to help, then help. But stop talking to me like I don't know what I'm doing. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with a person who won't listen no matter what you tell them. And like I said, they didn't like it. And like I said, if it wasn't for that, like I said, what calmed everybody down was a white medical person came in. He was almost as big as the black police officer. So he calmed everybody down because it was intense. So he came and he was real polite. He was real respectful and stuff because you are in somebody else's house. They were like really, really rude. But like I said, this stuff, I just know the type of energy that surround me. If they can cause drama, I'm talking about my family. If they can cause drama, they can do it. In fact, they kind of love it that way. Play the victim role, start trouble. They love it. So that's why if I'm around them, I'm a little like tensed up. Like, nah. And so other people perceive that tension as, oh, he thinks he's a tough guy. Plus he's got on a baseball cap with a red head rag. What's he, a gangster? What do you think he want to be? So they think they coming in here and gonna get busy and beat a nigga down. And I'm like, oh, ho, I'm an ordained minister of God. And my God has protected me before. I had y'all crazies think y'all gonna beat me up and y'all ain't touch me. And my God will protect me now. And if not, I'm still gonna do what I do. But y'all not coming up in here like some Rambo talking crazy. So that's what that was about. So again, that's really the Pluto retrograde. You learned a little bit because remember, this is all in the second house and in universe, and it's also. I want to look at the sign again. In the second house of Capricorn. So where you see Capricorn, your ninth house, because they really want you to meet that Saturn energy in your ninth house. See, this is a lot like the chart I just did that I told everybody to look at. You're going to meet this there because it's like unfinished business. And in the ninth house, it helps you mature a little bit. Like the ninth house can be with people who couldn't reconcile earlier. Now they can. Because the ninth house is like a second marriage or later on in life. Whereas the third house is more like, problems still there and all intensity is still there. no real desire to, make amends. So that's what's going on where her Capricorn is. Pluto's going to take something away, but it takes you away so that you can grow more. And it is in the sign of Capricorn. All right, now y'all have to give me one moment because there's a few things I had to look at. All right, so now we're going to look at 19 degrees, 19 degrees Capricorn. Conceited, superficial, and shrewd character, endowed with great talents for mimicry. One achieves success in fashion or any occupation in the entertainment industry. The financial situation may not be stable, and therefore it is wise to put some savings aside in order to cope with lean periods. This degree is also describes unreliable employees. Woo! So they're kind of warning at this time it might be good to watch how you spend your money and definitely put some in savings because things may not go good. And it's also saying could be reliable employees. And that has a lot to do well, that was the Pluto. That was a Pluto retrograde. And now we went to Saturn retrograde. We'll see what she says and then we'll look at another spot if necessary. Saturn retrograde on the outside, they are stoic. Inwardly a bundle of nerves and worry. This can sometimes manifest as a rigidity or need to micromanage things. They're not paranoid per se, but they want to feel in control of something. Responsibility is serious stuff to them. Other times it produces the opposite, especially if they grew up in a home where order wasn't important. Then they tend to be unambitious or undisciplined. Saturn retrograde people are never down with authority. It makes them nervous or rebellious. And that is kind of what they say. But she said this is supposed to be lessons, but well, what is the lesson of her Saturn retrograde? So what we're going to do now is go elsewhere. See, in that second house, it's saying that it's gonna be a great loss somewhere with finance. So I want everybody to hear what I'm saying. It's going with this blood moon, it's gonna be a great loss financially because of Pluto retrograde. Jupiter and Saturn are social planets. A Saturn retrograde is a tough task master. A tough task master. Say it one more time. A tough task master. So it can cause you to work harder or take longer to think things through. So with a Saturn retrograde, there are no shortcuts. Detailed plans should not be rushed. Take time to breathe and do things right the first time. So she might have some money concerns around the Saturn energy. And remember that Saturn energy was in her Leo, I believe in the 4th house. So issues with authority may be in the forefront during this retrograde. And like I said, that's what just happened to me. Working on legal matters such as contracts or deals may be delayed. And I'm kind of going through that right now. Deadlines may be extended, and you may find yourself working on something you thought was already completed. This is all Saturn retrograde. Anybody with Saturn retrograde will have a conflict with authority. And again, that's the money house, because that's definitely what's going on with me. All kind of crazy stuff. I could tell y'all stuff it would be hard for you to believe, but see, I keep all my documents and paperwork. But that's how you know this universal is coming from above. You may feel persecuted by your boss or manager, upper management, or even a type of father figure. And it might not always you feel persecuted, just that you two are not getting along because maybe for any different reason, but whatever, you two are not on the same page. Or this person could be abusive too. But when looking at this natal chart, it seems like she was under some type of rigid Saturn control in her 4th house of family. But it could also mean Saturn retrograde is somebody who has trouble setting limitations. And it means they may not speak up for themselves. So they may be victimized because of it. Also, they got to be very careful because patience will be difficult for somebody with a Saturn retrograde. So from a past life experience, they may have been in an abusive situation. You may have been a prisoner, enslaved, or you may once been an abusive ruler. You may have also been immensely impatient, looking for an easy way out. So anybody with a Saturn retrograde has to learn how to be patient. And they have to hold themselves and others accountable. They have to learn to constructively voice their concerns and opinions. And that's where I'm getting at now, because like I said, I'm getting shit beat out of me. Like before I walk away, didn't want no drama. But it's so much going on now that I just don't care who I'm talking to. I'm not going to let you run over top of me. And we're not going to do this no more. Like, I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of the BS on this planet. But that's what happens. You get push until you start standing up for yourself. So if you can learn to constructively voice your concerns and opinions, the rewards will be great. You will be able to take control of the part of your life and end the cycle of victimization. Make sure you're respecting those around you. Rather than taking one person and making them unrestrained focus, learn strategy, and working hard on your task. So that's what's going on in this second house. Pluto will take something away, and Pluto retrograde will take something away, causing this person to become more mature, and Saturn retrograde will help this person hold themselves and others accountable, and also be more patient. And that's why I said the ninth house is more mature, because she's got some type of Saturn Capricornian issues. And I'm sure it's more on the chart, but again, this is just for a full blood moon, full moon. So we did the sun sign and the moon sign. Now, this should end this reading, but I did come back to look at that Capricorn, and then the sun and those moon is nowhere else I can go. And again, the Mars retrograde, see her Mars is direct, but it's still in the family sector. So it's definitely dealing with family. That's what I was trying to say. And then it's kind of funny because even her Mercury is going to deal with Libra, which is still going to be relationships, even if it's in the 6th house. So that's home, relationships, could even be the law, and Pluto's there too. So yeah, it really is like a family, more so family. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times when you're dealing with twin soul relationships, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be twin souls, but you know, it'll connect to you somehow. It'll supernaturally connect to your family, your mother or your father or stuff like that. And that's why I said, when you get a reading like this, it's kind of like a heads up what to look for. And then if you need it for anything else, you got to just be more specific, go a little bit deeper. Might even be an angel card reading or an angel card reading associated with the natal chart. But this type of reading, because it's just a full moon, it's just full moon reading, full blood moon reading, it's just giving you a heads up of possibilities. And that male energy, that Saturn energy, could actually be the father, stepfather, whoever kind of raised her like a family, but it also could be a male in her life, or even a boss. All right. So this is Gag. God bless.